Guys, today we're talking big dog or small dog. Either way, she wants a dog, and that's our hook. Oh my. So the other day, we have a cat right now. I love my cat, and I'm happy with the cat. I've owned dogs before.
We talked about the fact you have a cat. You
Yes.
should never mention that on this show again.
No, I love her name is Emmy. She's the E-double-M-E, and she's gangster, which is why she's the E-double-M-E, right? Emmy, get it? Palindrome.
I got it.
Whatever. And the other day, the wife is sitting there watching TV, and I can't remember when it was. Maybe it was when the last dog show was on. And she saw all these cute little dogs out there. And then she sees this little Westie, cute little white Westie walking across. She goes, oh, my God, look how cute it is and the short little legs. Maybe we should get a dog. And then that's when it dropped.
No.
Boom. She wants a dog. And I said something to the effect of,
No.
why would you want such an ugly little dog?
See, okay. Yep, that sounds like something you would say.
Which clearly she did not like that. Because
Shocking.
she goes, what do you mean it's an ugly little dog? It is really cute. And I said, well, it's just kind of small. What are you going to do with it? I was like, you can't do much with it.
Put it in a purse.
Carry it
places.
around, right? And I said, why don't you get a real dog? You know, something that, could protect you when you need it to, like a big old Rottweiler, about 100 pounds, something that you could train, Doberman, or even a German Shepherd. I'm not much of a pit bull fan.
Okay.
And his music's awful too. But I was like, yeah, we should just get a nice big dog.
Why
And
isn't it an option for no dog?
so we start getting into it a little bit because big dog versus small dog is
And
something that
you
doesn't
are
go
looking
away.
forward to this quarantine ending
Oh, yeah.
because you just can't keep yourself out
I
of
can't
trouble.
keep my mouth shut. I mean, I say things. I speak my mind,
things
which
my-
in a
things my
marriage
wife
you're not
hates.
supposed to do.
When I speak.
Yes.
Generally my disposition while I'm awake.
So then, as we're arguing about it, I say to her, I don't want a dog at all.
Yeah.
And then it dropped. I want a dog. I think they're cute. And I said, well, you can barely clean up after the cat. What makes
See,
you think
you
you're going to let the
just-
dog out?
It's not even. You don't even have a shovel. It's like a backhoe.
Dude, and she, that look all wives give you when you say that one thing that really pisses them off and they just kind of go.
Yeah.
And then that's
I'm
when
well
I knew
aware of what that looks
my
like.
wife hated everything that came out of my mouth at that point. So
Yeah, we had this conversation
every
not
other
a week
podcast?
ago.
Yeah, I know. So to try to smooth things over.
At least you don't do an intro for the show where you can learn things, because clearly you don't learn a damn thing.
I'm trying. We all have problems, Keith. I'm working on mine. Counseling.
Okay. Anyways.
So I try to smooth things out. I'm like,
Okay.
so I start with, well, why do you like the West? And she's like, oh, it's cute, short little legs. They're white.
Yep.
And they're just great, and you can train them to do things. And I said, oh, that's good. I said, are you going to rely on that dog to save you if, God forbid something were to happen? She goes, oh, of course it would.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, well, maybe.
Yeah.
But I just said something effective.
When
The little
Westies
do-
attack.
Yeah. Have you ever heard of that show?
I
No.
have. It's legit.
Is it real?
Yeah.
They're terriers.
No.
I don't know why they're
I don't
considered
know.
terrier breed.
I don't know. Okay.
So then I was just trying to, say things about like small dogs don't live that long, and you don't want it dying on you right away, because it probably would.
So these are thoughts that pass through your brain,
And that I say.
and then you process these thoughts.
Mhm.
And instead of stopping at the process, you green light them for verbalization.
Oh, and they just flow right out. And they sound freaking beautiful when I do it. From my perspective, it's beautiful. I'm like, it's just not going to last that long. They got like a 7-8 year lifespan. Why don't you get something, a little bit bigger that's going to last longer? It's like a car.
Huh.
And she kind of turned her nose at that statement. And then she
I
says,
can't
what's
imagine
the
why.
kind of dog the Queen of England had? They were Yorkie, or a Yorkie? No.
I don't know. I've never met the Queen.
What? I'm going to look that up now. The Queen's dog.
Okay.
And
again, I'm going to ask my question.
Yes.
Because you never answered it.
Which is corgi. She wants corgi.
Why isn't and the answer? Why do you want a dog? No dog. You said big dog, small dog.
I
As
was
if those
trying
were
to
the
smooth
only two
over what I
options.
did.
The other option is no dog.
We were getting there. But I was trying to like walk her through the process of realizing she didn't need a dog,
Okay.
which
All right.
broke completely down
So
once we started talking.
Look, you told me a couple of weeks ago,
Yeah.
and my beard is really itchy, but I've made a
You've
deal.
been doing good.
I've made a deal that I'm not going to shave it until business is open again. So I'm hoping
I might
maybe
join you in
I'm
that one
hoping,
now.
Right? I certainly can't get a haircut, which is really
Yeah,
awful.
look at this mop.
I need to
Been
just
dying
shave
for
my
one.
head. My wife would be really upset.
Can we
something
do that?
Something that my wife would hate about me is if I came
Could we
home
do
with
that
a
on camera and have
Maybe.
her help?
Maybe we could do
Do a
something for like
podcast with it.
charity for a restaurant,
Yes,
or something like
yes.
that. Maybe.
Let's
Okay.
figure it out.
I don't have any problem shaving my head. I always did as a kid. Anyways, and I'm bald anyway, so what the hell do I care? What were we talking about? Dogs.
Yes, and then I was trying to smooth over. I was like, and I started talking about a corgi with her, and then
Yeah,
I
but
was like,
no
"What?"
dog.
Well, then I said something effective. Aren't little dogs just useless? For the second time. And apparently, the first time I said it wasn't enough.
How are you still married?
And the second
That's
time,
the real question.
I got the
This-
second look.
This podcast needs to be renamed from "My wife hates this" to "How on earth is Josh still
So
married?"
married. I was like, you just need a real dog. Because I remember growing up, my buddy had this dog
Oh.
named Apollo. It was a Rottweiler. I kid you not. This thing was like 120 pounds. He'd put his paws on my
That's
shoulders
fine.
and he'd look at me, and I was like, he's the most gorgeous, perfect dog ever.
That's
you know,
fine.
He intimidates.
When
you
you're a
know, he-
kid-
he
when
would
you're a
just run
kid-
through fences.
When you're a kid
Ugh.
and you have a dog, that's one thing, right?
Yeah.
But you don't think about what it's like to be the adult at the house with the dog.
Yeah. And well, I had to clean up the other. So, yeah. All right. So
Big dog, little dog. How about no dog? Is that a Dr.
we're
Seuss
almost
book?
there. We're almost there. And then what really got the conversation started as to why we shouldn't get a dog. I was like, you know, that backyard would be full of poop before you know it.
No, I'll pick it all up.
And she goes, this is where things kind of went my direction. After all of the foot and mouth syndrome that I was suffering from,
Yep.
I said, well, we'd have to build a dog run, or they're going to sit there and it's going to destroy the grass. There's going to be poop and pee everywhere, yellow spots in the yard. She goes, oh, and I was like, are you willing to help me pick up the dog poop?
Nope.
And she's like, well, it's kind of gross. And I was like, even little dogs make big poops. And
Do
then
you
I was
talk
like,
that
well, I was trying to be a little...
with the voice
Listen,
inflection, like the Stewie voice inflection?
I don't do that to her all the time, no.
Even little dogs.
Even little dogs
Little
poop.
dogs
Sometimes I do.
make big
And when I
poops.
use some of those voices, it gets her really mad because she's like, stop using that voice. And I'm like,
I can't
What
imagine why
voice?
she would think that.
I'm not using a voice. And she hasn't thrown anything at me in a while. But I said, you know, the bigger the dog, too, the bigger the poops. And I really don't see you out there, you know, scooping this stuff up. And then she actually says, you know what, you're right. And that's the first time I had ever heard that statement.
Mic drop.
So now
You're not getting a dog.
we're not getting a dog. And
We have a
then-
dog.
And then in typical form, since I thought I had won, I continued to talk.
Yeah.
And,
You should read a book about negotiating,
Know when to shut up?
right? Because what I was going to tell you was
Uh-huh.
when you start with the position where you are, the way that you talk,
Uh-huh.
right? It presupposes that the outcome, that the dog is already there, which means that as you start to push against
Uh-huh.
the outcome of whether or not you will get a dog, you just say dumb things. But if you
Thank you.
start with no dog, not why a little dog? Why not a big dog? Then you're just saying we have a
You're gonna
dog.
get a dog.
So now you're just talking about breed at that point in time.
Yes.
When you didn't want a dog.
In the first place,
So
no.
you say, I
Mm-hmm.
don't want a dog,
Nope.
right? So in negotiation, party A makes a statement, party B lays out an opposite or concurring or opposite, I don't know. They make a different statement.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
The further away those things are, right, the harder it is to make a compromise. Right? The closer they are, like, big dog or little dog? Why would you want a little dog when you could get a big dog, right? You've already agreed to having a dog. And now you have to say things like, but do you really want to pick up poop? Which is not part of the conversation.
Yes, it was. It was
real
the perfect
conversation
answer
is,
to the whole thing.
Would you like to have the responsibility for a life from when it's really, really little to when it's old, all of the bills that go into it, all the things that it's going to destroy, all the things that's going to stop you from being able to do because you guys don't have kids. Get a dog, you can't leave a dog.
You can't leave a dog.
You're going to board it?
Nope.
Right? So,
Didn't want to spend that money.
You started with big dog, little dog because you wanted to talk about poop. If you would have said no dog,
Well, yeah, I wanted
right,
to bring up
then
you gotta
as,
clean up
as
that
she
crap.
moves towards you in this negotiation, where she's still clearly on the side of dog, you just keep staying on the side of no dog.
Perfect.
Right?
Perfect.
And then when you come to the middle, right, what actually happened was you got her to your side and the sale is made.
Yeah, shut up.
No more talking.
Shut up. And
But no. I mean, no.
then I said,
There are books on how to negotiate.
all right, clearly I'm going to have to call you during some of these. Next time we argue, I'm like, hold on. I have to call Keith. Yeah,
Please don't do
we're
Please don't do
arguing
that.
about
I'm not
what
answering
kind of
I'm not
pizza
answering.
to get. No, I'm going to do that once.
When my phone rings and it says Josh,
and it's
I
a
look
Saturday.
At it, and my wife will go, "Who's calling?"
I don't know. I do not answer.
Here, you answer.
Hey, yeah, no, yeah, I work
No,
for Keith.
I'll have my daughter
So
answer.
we're arguing.
I'll have my daughter answer.
Yeah. So
She'll
I
give you
said
good
something
advice.
to the effect of, the cat doesn't get well along with others. And it was a good idea that you changed your mind anyway.
Wow.
And that's when she said, I haven't changed my mind.
See? Told you.
I just don't want to clean up the poop.
Yeah. Well,
And
that's
she's
going to
like-
go away.
And I was like,
Because
I understand.
She's going to look at the Sky Mall catalog,
Yeah,
and she's going to find a robot
that'll do it.
that'll do it.
Well,
and
then-
then she's
well,
going to
well, she
order it from
reminded
Sky
me.
Mall.
She's like, listen, you do most of the outdoor chores anyway.
See?
So
See?
you'd be
And
picking
pretty
up the
soon,
poop.
pretty soon you're going to be building a dog shed next to your she shed.
And then the koi pond, and
With
the dog's
koi
gonna
pond, and yeah. No.
no
Now,
dog.
I say this as someone that has a dog.
Do you have a dog?
Yeah.
I had no idea.
I have a dog. And I did not want the dog. I still don't want the dog. I'm sure my wife's going to hate that I say that. I still don't want the dog. I don't like it's not that I don't like the dog.
They're just so needy.
I don't want a dog.
They're just needy.
I have 2 kids.
And I said that to her too. They're
I've got
being too needy.
I've got stuff to do.
Right.
Right? It's not that I just have other life priorities at this point in time. I didn't want a dog. My kids are too little
To play with the dog.
really be able to play with the dog.
And make them do the chore.
It's a black lab. Love black labs. Just amazing.
Great
And
dogs.
she's an amazing dog. But I don't want a dog. I didn't want a dog. And I kept saying, I don't want a dog. 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 And you know what happened?
What?
Somebody that you know, somebody that we both know, just showed up at my house with the dog.
I think I know who this person
Yeah.
is.
And the only person who didn't know that we were getting a dog was me.
Oh, wow.
Everybody else knew.
And did this person make phone calls to the wife?
Oh,
and say,
yeah.
Hey, I got a puppy for you.
Oh, they
And-
weren't making phone calls because having a record of he doesn't have my wife's phone number, but they're friends on Facebook. So there's a string of messages where they come up with it. So this is what I said.
Oh, my.
All right, so this was my compromise because
Yes.
I had lost, right? I had lost,
You would, yeah.
and my wife is definitely a dog person.
Yes.
So this was the deal that we struck, right? I will relent, and I will agree that we can have a dog, right? Because we have to make decisions together.
Yes.
But I will ask with the utmost sincerity and clarity
Yes.
that we do not get another dog. Just one.
Not two.
Because my wife, if you would have been on this podcast with her and you would have said, Keith's wife, big dogs or little dogs, she would say, big dogs,
Big dogs?
Newfoundlands.
Oh, my.
Mom trains Newfoundlands for water rescue.
Oh, my.
grandma, mom, depending on your view.
I get.
Sister
Oh my.
has a Newfoundland. All of mom's friends have Newfoundlands.
And it just
I don't want a cow in my
they're
house.
monstrous.
And my wife has had a Newfoundland since she was itty bitty because her mom has always had them.
Oh God.
They're the one they have right now, he's immaculately trained. He's awesome.
Yeah, probably gorgeous.
Just
Beautiful dogs.
slobbers everywhere and probably and eats like it's going out of style.
Yeah.
And so I didn't want a Newfoundland. So I just nope, we're not getting a dog.
Not gonna do it.
We're not getting a dog.
Black lab.
And then my wife was having conversations with people and figured out
This person whose name we will not mention.
yeah, and other people, but she was having conversations with people about about dogs. And if Keith was to have a dog, what would his favorite dog be? Right? And so, they picked one. And now I have one.
And did Keith ever want that kind of dog?
No, I mean, if I was going to have a dog, if I really wanted a dog, yes, that's what I would. That's what I would.
Well,
So she got that right. But I remember I came home and I go, so just kind of like, I heard a rumor today. She's like, "What? You've been talking to beep?"
Yeah.
No. You've been sending or getting messages from beep. Yeah. Is there a dog being delivered to our house this evening?
There's silence. Oh.
So at this point in time, I said, all right. Okay. So, okay.
Uh-huh.
Right. And this is not me opening the door for us in a year or two getting another dog, which happens to grow up to be the size of a cow.
Yes. Newfoundland.
And her statement back to me was, okay.
Wow. So you still got the dog. Congratulations.
And every time that dog whimpers and whines, and I go home and it just, I sit in my chair and just passively aggressively go.
And that's how it's done,
My
folks.
wife knows exactly what is happening, and she just looks at me. Like, okay, I will get up and go let the dog out.
That's how it's done, folks. Thanks for joining us for another episode of My Wife Hates This. Big dogs, small dogs. We all know how that worked out.
This show. It's
Hopefully,
all true.
our wives don't watch it, but they do, and then they question me.
They already know all of this stuff.
I know. It's not like it's anyway.
This is
but
like
guys,
a reaffirmation.
Ring our bell, follow what we do, subscribe to our channel, make sure that you like what we do. Also, head over to ourcommunitynow.com. Check out all the other content that we carry. We have news, stories, and things that make you feel good about your community. So check it out and get over there as soon as possible. I'm Josh. And he's Keith. My wife hates this, guys. We'll see you next time.